Hi folks, it's Ron Ray here with Medicare Supplement Reviews, and we're going to take a look at a few of the Medicare Supplement, also called Medigap plans today, and we're going to look at those right out of the book that you get from Medicare. It's called Choosing a Medigap Plan 2018. Today is July the 6th, 2018, so this is the most current, up-to-date information that we have. This is the book here. And I am going to go ahead and skip down to the page that we need to look at. It's page 80. You've got this book with you at home, so just skip down to page 80, and this is the page that we want to look at now. This is a standardized chart. You see this in a lot of the advertisements that you get from different companies and agents, and so this is good information as long as it matches up with the book. So the first thing that I want you to see, and the plans that we're specifically going to talk about today are plans A, B, C, and D. And these are some plans. Then we'll get in another video, we'll talk about the plan F, the plan G, the high deductible F, and then we'll talk about K, L, and M in another video. And last would be the plan N in a video, in the final video in the series. One thing I want you to notice, if we go back up here, one page, back to page 79, it says right here, Medigap policies are standardized. Now what that means is that every plan is the same from company to company. So it doesn't matter whether you have a plan F from Mutual of Omaha is identical in benefits to a plan F from Cigna, which is identical in benefits to a plan F for United Healthcare, AARP. All the companies that are in this business, if it's an F to an F, it's apples to apples. Or a G to a G, apples to apples. It says it right here in the book. The benefits must be the same. All policies offer the same basic benefits, but some offer additional benefits, such as the foreign travel coverage that we'll talk about here. But again, if it's the same letter, it's the same benefits. Now there's some states, there's a couple of states, 3 to be exact, Massachusetts, Minnesota, and Wisconsin, that have a little bit different benefits. They look a little bit different, but again, from plan to plan, company to company, they're going to be the same. So go back down here to the chart and take a look. We're going to talk about plans A, B, C, and D. Now these are the older plans. These plans were titled in the order in which they were introduced. So plan A is the first Medicare supplement that was introduced, and so on. Now you'll see we are missing a few letters, namely the E and the J. And these are some plans that, because of some changes to Medicare, they became obsolete because they're just not needed anymore. Say a plan F now does the same job that a plan J used to back when a plan J was available. But because of a change that Medicare made to the way they pay for things, the plan J became obsolete, so it's no longer listed. So if we just look at the benefits, plan A, B, C, and D all pay 100% for the Medicare Part A coinsurance and hospital costs, including an additional 365 days after you've exhausted your Medicare benefits. They also cover the Medicare Part B coinsurance, that's the 20%. They also cover the first 3 pints of blood. They cover the hospice care. That's where they stop to be. That's where they are the same. Now they start to differ a little bit. Plan A and B do not cover skilled nursing care. That's $164 per day copay out of your pocket. Plan A does not cover the Part A deductible. That's the hospital deductible, which is $1,340 out of your pocket. But plans B, C, and D do cover that. So if you had a plan A and you went into the hospital for the first 60 days, you would pay $1,340 out of your pocket for the hospital bill. A and B and D do not cover the Medicare Part B deductible. That is $183 this year in 2018, but Plan C does cover it. None of these plans, none of these 4 plans, A, B, C, or D, cover the 15% Medicare Part B excess charge. So there's a handful of doctors out there, and that list is growing every day, that are allowed to charge you an additional 15% above the Medicare approved amount. So for most doctors, you'll pay 20%, And for a few doctors who do not accept Medicare assignment, they're allowed to bill you an additional 15%. And so your total out-of-pocket cost would be 35%. None of these 4 plans actually pay that for you, so that's all on you. And then for foreign travel emergency, as we know from previous videos, Medicare doesn't cover anything outside the U.S., but some Medicare supplements do provide some foreign travel coverage benefits. Plan A and B do not cover any foreign travel coverage, and Plan C and D do provide that emergency coverage. And that's not the same as original Medicare, but it is some limited benefits to get you stable and get you home in an emergency. So those are the first 4 plans. Now, these plans are not nearly as common as, say, Plan F, Plan G, Plan N, because they're older. The companies that offer these plans tend to have older, sicker customers in them, and so they have a higher claims experience and more costs associated with these plans. And of course, that cost is then passed along to you in the form of higher premium rates. One thing to note about the Plan A is that the Plan A is pretty much, for most states, most carriers, the only plan that is available to people who are under age 65 and on Medicare due to being on Medicare disability. They can only get the Plan A or Medicare Advantage plan in most cases. And now that's going to be very expensive, of course, because the companies know if you're on disability and on Medicare, well, you're very likely to cost them a lot of money. And so they're going to charge you a lot of money for their Medicare supplements. But we don't see the B and the C very often. The D is coming into favor. The A is very, very rare, only in the case of under age 65 folks. One thing to note about the Plan C is that it is, along with the Plan F, in the year 2020 will no longer be offered to new Medicare beneficiaries. So if you're turning 65 after the year 2020, you will not be allowed to buy Plan C or Plan F. Those are in essence going away after the year 2020. Now, if you did turn 65 before that time, you could still get one. But of course, when that happens, the cost is expected to start going up quite a bit after that. Once there's no new money, no new healthy people coming into the plan, the cost for the companies start to increase, and of course they pass that cost along to you. So that's plans A, B, C, and D, and we will get to the next video. We'll be covering Plan F, G, and then high deductible F also. So we'll look forward to seeing you there. If you have any questions, just look us up on the web at MedicareSupplementReviews.com. Thanks, folks.